Ladies and gentlemen, uniquely unqualified podcast take two, one subject, easier, better for you to listen to and watch. First of all, we're going to get into Benjamin Netanyahu and Lebanon, Iran, and Pakistan a little bit. But before I start running my mouth, please like and subscribe. So, Benjamin Netanyahu comes out over the weekend and says they've launched 200 strikes against Hezbollah in Lebanon. Lebanon is a border country just to the north of the Israeli border. Now, we remember last week when the Pakistan was trying to broker a ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran. There was a problem because Netanyahu and Israel decided to, moments after that agreement was announced, that they were going to just start hitting whatever targets that they wanted to hit in Lebanon. So then they say, well, Lebanon wasn't a part of the agreement. Lebanon isn't a part of the ceasefire. That's not part of the deal. Meanwhile, Iran says yes, it is. Pakistan said yes, it was. And then J.D. Vance says on a tarmac that he doesn't believe that it was supposed to be part of it. And then a phone call goes out at some point in time, and Netanyahu stops trying to launch rockets into Lebanon, hitting Hezbollah targets. We are told that these are Hezbollah, and these are Hezbollah targets. I really have to go back and look at what happened in Gaza after October 7th. What would that have been? 2020, what year is it? 2024. And I don't think that there's a whole lot more to be said about Netanyahu's endeavors other than take control of the region. I do not for a half a second believe that this is about toppling Iranian proxies and terror cells and terror groups. I'm sorry, I just don't. There's too many more other options, and especially when there's something about this, the Greater Israel Project, where it basically outlines the whole goddamn region is, they're going to relocate all the Muslims, and they're going to take it over in the name of fucking Israel. Anyway, so after peace talks don't go so well over this past weekend, between the U.S., Israel, and Iran. Iran says that they're going to start charging ships to go through the Strait of Hormuz, and then peace talks didn't get very far, and then overnight Netanyahu says, oh, we've hit 200 targets in Lebanon. 200. Well, I'm pretty sure that Lebanon was a part of the deal. I think Iranian proxies were part of the deal. And so Netanyahu is taking this as an opportunity, the whole Strait of Hormuz debacle, as an opportunity to say, oh no, they're not abiding by this, which means that I get to go and just fucking drop bombs everywhere that I want. This guy is I've said this, and now I'm getting blue in the face. This Netanyahu guy is a bad person. He's a bad human being. I think that he's a bad actor. He is absolutely no ally to the United States or the West. This man has and it's the Israeli government at large, but he's the one in charge. This man, Netanyahu, has his own agenda with a very small population and not a lot of reach to get this done. And so he literally needs the United States of America. Maybe not necessarily the West at large, because look at what a great job the U.S. is doing for Israel. But I think a big reason why they're pushing and pulling so hard and so much with the United States is because the Mossad and Jeffrey Epstein, they've got and with AIPAC basically making fucking bureaucrats and elected officials wildly rich beyond their dreams. I think that the Israeli government has the United States government by the short and curlies. And if none of our elected leaders, including the president, doesn't want to go to jail, if none of them want to go to jail, they're going to do what the fuck Israel tells them to do. That's how blackmail works. They might not be as big, they might not be as powerful, but, you know, hypothetically, Mr. President, we have you 40 years ago on camera playing around with a 13-year-old girl. What do you have to say about that, sir? And the answer is, I fucking don't have anything to say. It's fake. It's fake. Well, you know, this whole move by Netanyahu launching a bunch of rockets into Lebanon is probably and most certainly to entice Iran into launching another rocket, hitting another target in a Western ally, Gulf nation. Anyway, so that's what Netanyahu is going for. He doesn't want this ceasefire. He didn't want a ceasefire in Gaza. He wasn't having it. He didn't want to hear it. The only reason why you don't hear about bombing Gaza anymore is because there's nothing left to bomb. And so this guy has this Netanyahu and the Israeli government and their Mossad. They have something over the United States government that, you know, it would be the equivalent of aliens landing on the front yard of the White House. It's like, oh my God, they're real. But in the case of the Epstein files and the Mossad blackmail operation that is Jeffrey Epstein, or was rather, that would cause the American people and people all over the greater, you know, Western project to go, oh my God, this is real? And the answer is, yes, folks. Unfortunately, I think that this whole thing revolving Trump, Iran, Netanyahu, Jeffrey Epstein, all of it is connected in this giant, icky fucking knot that you can't unravel. You just have to cut it off. And it just includes the worst of the worst of our political leaders. And Netanyahu knows that he can launch fucking rockets anywhere until the cows come home. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, Mr. President? Because if you try to back out of this completely, because at this point, that's the only move that Donald Trump has, back out, completely back out. We've got a blockade going on in the Strait of Hormuz, in front of the Strait of Hormuz right now. But the only thing that he can do, if he wants out clean, with no war, no money spent on this, no more money spent on this, he needs to just fucking remove himself. But then there's two options. Netanyahu and the Israeli government, the Mossad, come to the president of the United States of America and they say, all right, look here, bro. You're coming back in here, or we're exposing you personally, sir. And we'll protect all the Democratic candidates. You can spin this however you want it. And you can sit down there in front of President Donald J. Trump and say, we don't care how many of you folks are implicated in this crime. We will come after you and you alone and protect everybody else if you do not come back into Iran and fucking do this the full way we want you to. We don't care what it does to your country, your people, or your credibility or your name. We do not care. But you're going to do this. And then Donald Trump says, oh, damn you. Okay, I guess I have to do it. Option 2, he says, fuck you, make me a martyr. And it's Donald Trump. He ain't going to do that. Uniquely Unqualified Podcast Take Two. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.